Okay children, in the first video on Kirchhoff's law, we discussed the two laws and their applications. Now today we will go into some advanced problems and discuss how we can use Kirchhoff's law for simplifying circuits. Okay, let us see the first problem. Here we have, these problems are mostly based on Wheatstone's bridge, a non-balanced bridge. This is point A, this is point B. This is R1, R2, R1, R2, this is R3. Clear? And we have to calculate, you can clearly see this is a Wheatstone's bridge, but it is not balanced because R1 upon R2 is the ratio in resistance terms here, and here it is R2 by R1, so it is obviously not balanced. So we will see how we can calculate equivalent resistance of such a circuit, and then we will modify it for calculating currents also later on. So let us see here, calculate equivalent resistance of the network. Children, many times it becomes advisable and it becomes very important for us to connect an imaginary battery. As they want to calculate how much is the equivalent resistance between points A and B, I will calculate here a battery. I will close the key. When I close the key, you can see a current will be set up in the circuit. Suppose the current is I. This current will be splitting here in two branches. Let us say here it is I1 and here it is I2. Now bear in mind, we will be using symmetry, resistance across are equal. So this current is I1 through R1. So here also we will take this as what? I1. Current here through R2 is I2. So we will be taking I2 here again. Let us take this point as C and this point as D. When I look at across point C and D, you can see at point C, current I1 is going towards C and I2 is going away. So obviously through this resistance R, how much current is going? If I use Kirchhoff's first law, I1 minus I2. Clear? Now I want to find out what is equivalent resistance between points A and B. So what I will do is, I will say here R equivalent is equal to V1 plus V2 divided by I, V1 plus V2 divided by I1 plus I2. You can clearly see that I will be equal to how much? I1 plus I2. Now what is V1 and V2? V1 is potential difference across R1 and V2 is potential difference across R2. If I have the potential difference here and here, that will be equal to the applied potential difference, right? So here potential difference across R1, I will be writing this as I1 R1 across R2, I2 R2 divided by I1 plus I2, right? Now I divide numerator and denominator by the I2, then what do you get? R equivalent is equal to I1 by I2 into R1 plus R2 divided by I1 by I2 plus 1. So children, if I can calculate the ratio of I1 by I2, the ratio in which the current is dividing, we can easily calculate the value of equivalent resistance. Alright. So for this, we can use loop law. Any loop I can take. For example, I am taking A, C, D, A. So I will say here in loop A, C, D, A. You can see that my direction of calculation is clockwise. So I1 is positive, I1 minus I2 is also positive, but I2 is what? Negative. So if I use, then I will be getting I1 R1 plus I1 minus I2 into R3 minus I2 R2. You can clearly see that in this loop we have not connected any source of EMF. So there is no E, and how much will that be equal to? 0. Okay, remember our law is sigma IR plus sigma E is equal to 0. There is no E. We'll simplify this. So we get I1 R1 plus I1 R3 minus I2 R3 minus I2 R2 is equal to 0. We collect I1 terms on one side. So I1 into what do you get, children? R1 plus R2 is equal to I2 into R2 plus R3, right? And from here what do we get? From here we get I1 by I2, R2 plus R3 divided by R1 plus R3. Now for students it is important, if you get unbalanced Wheatstone bridge like this, we symmetrically place resistances R1 R2 and R2 R1, then bear in mind that the ratio of currents in the two branches you can directly calculate. Suppose you are doing an objective problem where you don't have time and space to work through this, then you can just remember I1 by R2 is equal to R2 plus I1 by I2 is equal to R2 plus R3 divided by R1 plus R3. There is a shortcut trick, I have written in the box so you can just remember. Now I will put this value in equation 1. Therefore, from equation 1, R equivalent is equal to I1 by I2. So I1 by I2 is how much? R2 plus R3 divided by R1 plus R3 into R1 plus R2 divided by R2 plus R3 divided by R1 plus R3 plus what? Now this is a matter of algebraic simplification. So R equivalent will be equal to R2 R1, R3 R1, R1 R2 plus R2 R3 divided by, children, R2 plus R3 plus R1 plus R3, right? So if you simplify, then this becomes R1 R2 plus R2 R3, R1 R2 is repeated twice, so twice R1 R2 plus R2 R3 plus R3 R1 divided by R1 plus R2 plus 2 R3. So this is the equivalent resistance, right? Now if you remember this direct result, twice R1 R2 plus R2 R3 plus R3 R1 divided by R1 plus R2 plus twice R3, you can profile this problem. Suppose you are doing a sum where this is 10 ohms, this is 5 ohms, this is 5 ohms and this is 10 ohms, and I can take this as 15 ohms for example. Then you can just substitute the values of R1, R2 and R3 and you can calculate what will be the equivalent resistance. Okay. So this was one typical problem, profile problem. You can make use of this in doing sums directly. Let's see another one. Kirchhoff's law is very effective in solving problems of this type. Let's see here. We will see an extension of the same problem. 5 ohm, 5 ohm, 10 ohm. This is how many ohms? This is 5 ohm. And here we got a 10 ohm resistance, and then here we got a battery which is 6 volts. And the question is calculate current in each branch. Calculate current in each branch. So this is current I, it is splitting as I1, this is I2. I taught you the trick. We will be using symmetry in this problem. I1, I2, this is 5, so this will be how much? 5. And this will be I1 minus I2. You can see from here again this will be I1. I2 and I1 minus I2 will fuse here together, then this current will be I2 plus I1 minus I2, so this will be I1, right? I will take this point as B and I will calculate this point as J. Clear? Now when I look at only the Wheatstone's bridge part, then I can use directly this equation which we got. If I compare, then you can see this is 10. Let's take this bridge separately, that will ease out my problem. And this is, yes, this is what it is. This is A, this is B, take this as C and take this as what? D, right? And for this problem, this is 10, this is 5, this is 5 and this is 10. For this we have a direct formula that I can use. See, this is R1, this is R2 and this is R3. Clear? So first I will calculate equivalent resistance. Now we have equivalent resistance, okay, between A and B. R equivalent will be, children, twice R1 R2 plus R2 R3 plus R3 R1 divided by R1 plus R2 plus twice R3. If you put in all these values, children, then what do you get? Twice 10 into 5 plus R2 R3, 5 into 5 plus R3 R1 is 5 into 10 divided by 10 plus 5 plus 2 into 5, right? Very easily you can calculate how much you get. 100 plus 25 plus 50 divided by 15 plus 10, 25. So 175 by 25, 7 ohms. So we calculated how much the equivalent distance of this Wheatstone's bridge, and how much did we get here? We got this as 7 ohms. So we can simplify this circuit something like this. This is 7 ohms, this is 10 ohms and this is 6 volts battery. It is something like this, right? So we will say now equivalent resistance of the circuit R is equal to, you can see that 10 ohm and 7 ohms, how they are connected? They are connected in series. So it will be 7 plus 10 is equal to 17 ohm. Now therefore current supplied by the battery I is equal to V by R. So how much V, children? 6 by 17 ampere. 6 by 17 ampere. Now this is the current supplied by the battery. So this current will travel as I and split as I1 and I2. So actually we just need to calculate how much is I1 and I2. If I use Kirchhoff's law, Then here we have children I is equal to I1 plus I2. So I1 plus at point A, if I use Kirchhoff's current law KCL, then I is equal to I1 plus I2. Current toward the junction is equal to sum of currents going away from the junction. I is going towards and I1 and I2 going away. So I1 plus I2 is equal to how much is in I 6 by 17. So this is equation 1. And then earlier, if you remember, we had already derived, or you can calculate from here only. If you do not want to use the shortcut formula, you can derive here in loop ACDA. Yes, I1 into 10 plus I1 minus I2 into 5 minus I2 into 5 is equal to how much here? 0. Clear? So what do you get here? 10 I1 plus 5 I1 minus 5 I2 minus 5 I2 is equal to 0. So we have 15 I1 minus 10 I2 is equal to 0. So 15 I1 is equal to how much of children? 10 I2. And if I know 15 I1 is equal to 10 I2, then from here I can calculate from here I1 upon I2 is equal to 10 by 15 is equal to 2 by 3. So you can write here I1 is equal to 2 by 3. So children, we have worked upon both the laws to calculate the relation between I1 and I2. Here I only got I1 plus I2 is equal to 6 by 17. So this becomes, these two are simple linear equations in two variables I1 and I2, and we will solve them to for finding out how much is I1 and how much is I2. Let us calculate. Put I2 is equal to 2 by 3, I1 is equal to 2 by 3 I2 in equation 1. And what is equation 1 children? I1 plus I2 is equal to 6 by 17, right? I1 plus I2 is how much? 6 by 17, right? Now put the value of I1. I will erase this. So we have 2 by 3 I2 plus I2 is equal to 6 by 17. Now we have 2 I2 plus 3 I2 by 3 is equal to 6 by 17, right? Now, so we put the value of I1, that is equal to 2 by 3 I2, we will be solving it. 2 I2 plus 3 I2 equals to 6 by 17. So children, 5 I2 divided by 3 is equal to 6 by 17. We solve it, then I2 becomes 18 divided by 85 ampere. So children, we got how much is I2? That's 18 divided by 85 ampere. Hence I1 equals to 2 by 3 I2, that is 2 by 3, I2 is 18 by 85, so divide 12 by 85 ampere. So we calculate the values of I1 and I2, and once we know I1 and I2, then we can solve just about any current in this branch. Current here I is equal to I1 plus I2, which is 6 by 17. You have already got. I1 minus I2 is the only thing you have to. Now the important thing is to have the concept. Okay. Now we will move on to the next problem. The problem, there is a cube each side is made up of resistance R. Clear? This is the problem. Each resistance is R. This is also R, this is also R. And we will calculate effective resistance across edge of the cube. Now this is a beautiful problem. Easy though, you can easily solve. It's not difficult at all. Suppose I choose this edge AB. And I want to calculate what will be the effective resistance. So for this, what will I do is, I'll connect a battery. Connecting battery between the edge of the cube will make my job easier. Now once this is done, once I have connected the battery and close the key, then I have to consider about distribution of current, how the current is being distributed. Now they can also ask you, they can show one particular branch and they can ask how much current is flowing. So, you will follow the same division which you are doing. Now, let us look at this. Let us say the battery is supplying current I. Clear? Battery is supplying what current? I. Now, this current I at point A is splitting in what? 3 branches. You can see each resistance is what? R. So, that means this current I will be divided equally in 3 branches. Among all these 3 branches, I will divide I equally. So, this current will be how much? I by 3. This current will be I by 3. And this current will also be how much? I by 3. Clear? Now, let us see division of all the currents one by one. Let us talk about this current. This current is travelling up to this point. At this point again it is divided in 2 branches. One branch is here, resistance R, and the other branch is here, resistance what? R. Again this current I by 3, children, at this point will be dividing into what? 2 equal resistances, each is R. So each current will be therefore divided equally, it will be I by 3 divided by 2. So that means current in this branch will be I by 6, and this branch will also be how much? I by 6. Clear? Now let us see this current I by 3. It is similarly split into 2 branches having equal resistance as I by 6, and this current is also I by 6. Lastly, we look at this current. This current travels up to this point, again splits up into 2 equal resistances. So it will be equally divided I by 6 and I by 6. Clear? Now let us complete the division for the entire circuit. Now pay attention. At this point, see carefully, at this point there are 2 currents, this current I by 6 and this current is I by 6. When they will meet here, they flow in this branch, and in this branch when they fuse, I by 6 and I by 6, I have to add them together. I by 6 plus I by 6 will be how much? I by 6 plus I by 6 will be I by 3. So this current here again becomes how much? I by 3. Current here is I by 3, I by 3 goes here. Now in this branch, at this point let us see here, at this point this current is I by 6 and this current is also I by 6. So I by 6 plus I by 6 will become how much? I by 3. So this current becomes I by 3, again I by 3 we got. Now look at this, here this current is I by 6, at this point 2 currents are meeting. this is I by 6. At this point, how many currents emitting? 2 currents. This is I by 6 and this is I by 6. If I add I by 6 plus I by 6, how much to get? I by 3. So in this branch again, current becomes how much? I by 3. Now at point B, let's establish our distribution. At point B, how many currents emitting? 3 currents. See now, I by 3, I by 3 and how much? I by 3. So I by 3 plus I by 3 plus I by 3, what will be the current? I. That means our distribution is right. Okay. So this is a very crucial part of solving this problem, distribution of currents. And I'll take this point as X, I'll take this point as what? Y. Now children, if I add up potential difference across AX, across XY plus across YB, let us say potential difference applied is how much? V. Clear? Then answers children solution. If equivalent resistance is equal to R, then V is equal to how much of I into R. Clear? Suppose we are going the clockwise direction. Clockwise direction is our direction of calculation. Then we will say in loop A X Y B A, how many current resistances you have? Let the effective resistance be R dash, I will say. So how much is V? I into R dash. I am not taking R because each resistance is already given equal to R. So you can see I by 3 is positive, I by 6 is positive, I by 3 is also positive, right? Then we have I by 3 R plus I by 6 R plus I by 3 R minus V is equal to how much? 0. Because as this is how I am going, right? So we have from here V is equal to 6 2IR plus IR plus 2IR 5IR by 6. But we said here that V is equal to how much? IR dash. But V is equal to IR dash. Right? Therefore, I into R dash is equal to how much? I into R dash is equal to 5IR by 6. If you cancel out I and I, then R dash is equal to how much? 5R by 6. So children, therefore equivalent resistance, we got R dash is equal to 5R by 6. Now remember, this result is very important. Sometimes, so when we work through this, then we use two concepts. One is distribution of currents, right? And the second was distribution of current came from the what? First law. And the second equation that we did here is using Kirchhoff's voltage law, KVL, the second law. And then we are able to calculate. This is the result you have to remember. For example, they can make a modification here, that each resistance of the cube is how much? For example, 2 ohm. Then how will you solve? R is equal to 2 ohm. Put it here. Then effective resistance will be 5 by 6 into 2. 5 by 3 ohms. Clear? So this is a good problem that we solved, and I hope you understood the concepts. So as of now, we will be doing only this much, and we will be coming up with some more difficult problems in the next video. Thank you very much.